Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another Think Tank. So, good morning to our Cranford, East Brunswick, Hamilton, and Middletown offices, as well as anyone else watching this, whether it's YouTube or the replay. Again, I am Olivier Lewis. I am the broker owner of the Cranford office, and I am doing a Think Tank today on whether or not your days get hijacked and get derailed from your plan. So that's what we're going to be covering today. If you like it, please hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe so you can see my other videos when I do post them, as well as liking it on YouTube. And please, regardless of where you're watching it from, please comment so I know this is helpful, engageful. And if you have any questions, please ask, as I would love to respond. So let's jump into today's topic. Do your days get hijacked? And we know what that's like, right? You get 3 calls from someone, it's a buyer, you pick up the phone finally, and they ask you just something that's already answered in the MLS, right? Or it's a seller that's calling you multiple times just to ask you if the open house is advertised, or an agent that calls you multiple times to ask you how to show it when the instructions are in the MLS. And many of these calls can really derail your day, and or something bigger, right? The fires that we have to put out that can be time consuming and really take up a lot of our time, where you were supposed to prospect, maybe follow up with past clients or had other things planned, but now you have to stop, put out a fire, try to save a deal, do someone else's job sometimes. Those are all things that can hijack and derail your day. So if that's happening to you or has occasionally happened, this is a topic that we want to cover now. So a lot of times you guys have to work in your business, which is the day-to-day stuff, the administrative stuff, obviously showing properties, but you also need to take time to work on your business. And it is critical and crucial that you do both. Obviously, there's a lot of things that have to get done to keep deals alive, to put deals together, to close deals, but you also have to take a step back from time to time and work on the prospecting, work on your business plan, making sure you're on track, doing a lot of things to continue the growth of the business and not just the putting the deals together and keeping deals alive stuff. So how do you do that, right? You have to time block. You can't neglect working on your business. You can't neglect prospecting. You can't neglect the things that are going to grow for the future because, oh, I have to put out this fire or keep this deal alive. So time blocking is one of the critical things that you have to do in your business. And that is literally blocking out time to conduct X activity. And we do it in our personal lives, right? I know recently I time blocked, it was in my calendar. I had my son's graduation. I did not look at my phone, nor take a call, nor think about making a call or text during, because I wanted to be present in the moment. So that was a time block for me. Another example is when you go on listing appointments. So guys out there watching, you guys have probably all been on a listing appointment, correct? I hope so. If not, if you're a newer agent and you haven't been on a listing appointment yet, you soon will be. And I can almost guarantee that most, in the high 90% of agents that have been on a listing appointment will not take another call while on a listing appointment. I rarely have heard agents take another call while on a listing appointment. You probably shouldn't unless it's an emergency. And by the way, there's no real estate emergencies, because for emergencies, you should be calling 911, not Olivier or whoever the agent is. So if you're on a listing appointment, whether it's a half hour, 2 hours sometimes, you're not taking another call, right? Because you're blocked out to focus on that activity of trying to convert and close that seller to list with you. That's a time block. That is absolutely a time block. And if you can do that, you can say to yourself, hey, for the next hour, I'm going to call past clients, or I'm going to prospect FSBOs are expired, or I'm going to clean up my database, or whatever you need to time block and do. But we sometimes look at it as, I'm so busy, I can't set aside the time. But if someone called you to come list their house for an appointment, you would time block, go there, be 100% attentive to the seller and trying to close them, and you wouldn't look at or take other calls on your phone. Well, it's the same discipline that you need to grow your business and time block for the things that are important, right? There's a saying, we make time for what's important to us. Well, these things to grow your business need to be important, and you need to time block for yourself, whether it's personal or business. So time blocking is definitely something you need to do. If you're not using one now, please start using a calendar. If it's not in my calendar, I'm not there or I'm not doing it because I live by the calendar. So every day I look at my Google Calendar. You can even have it set up to email you so you know what your agenda is and what you need to do, where you need to be. A lot of things get discovered while looking at my calendar, such as birthdays and other things that need to be done, reminders, anniversaries, etc., even sometimes holidays, right? So use a calendar. Use whatever calendar you see fit. I do like Google because it interacts with my phone and emails and everything very well and sets reminders. So I suggest that if you are a G Suite user. If not, whatever calendar works for you, definitely use a calendar. One other thing that people overlook that is very important in not letting your days get hijacked and derailed is you have to set expectations with people. You have to set expectations, right? Everyone here has the expectation that on Tuesdays I'm running a think tank from 10 to 10:30 or however long it goes. So that's an expectation that you're not going to reach me at that time. And you could set expectations with your clients that you have a prior commitment that you're not available till after 10 because you prospect in the mornings, right? And for those agents that are consistently prospecting, they wake up, they do it every day at the same time and are consistent. People know that you're not going to reach them at whatever hour because they're not available. You don't have to tell them you're busy, you're showing other clients, you're working with other clients, or if you're a dual career, you have something else. You can just say, I'm not available, I have a prior commitment, best times to reach me, or my day starts at this time. Whatever you're comfortable saying, if you set that expectation, everyone else will kind of fall in line to what your schedule is. But if you don't have an expectation, or if you use the key term, I'm available 24/7, and that's part of your marketing pitch, well, guess what? You need to be available 24/7. So I would rather set an expectation that I run a business and I have business hours, and sometimes I have other commitments. As I'm committed to you when we're together to give you my attention. Sometimes I do have other commitments. So don't hesitate to leave me a voicemail. Give me some time. If you do text me to respond. And or if you are prospecting or consistently blocked out your schedule or time blocking for certain days and times, just let everyone know. Be very transparent with people and they'll understand and understand that there's a window of time that you can't be reached, right? So set expectations with clients and vendors and everyone on your team. Another thing is learn to say no. You cannot be everything to everyone. You cannot always be available. And saying no is one of the things that helped me personally just get control of my schedule. You don't need to be everywhere at all times. You don't need to be part of every part of the process. And sometimes people want you there or they think that you need to be there when you really don't. So learning to say no, which is a hard thing, is definitely something that can help you. With that, set boundaries. Set boundaries of what you will and will not do. And I set boundaries early on when I was in production that I, as a listing agent, wouldn't go do certain things, right? I'm not going to stop running my business to go run someone else's business. So when I got calls from buyer agents asking me, could I conveniently open up for the radon pickup because they're an hour away or whatever reason they double booked or they have their kids, whatever. My business strategy is not to stop running Olivier Lewis's business to go run someone else's business. So I set boundaries for myself and in my business, which helped me to be consistent and not let someone else's lack of preparation or problems become my problem, and really allowed me to start saying no and gaining my time back to allow me to run my business. So set boundaries in your business of what you should and shouldn't be doing and stay consistent to that, right? So with all of that, of course, when someone doesn't get you or if someone needs you, you have to be able to respond in a business time frame in an appropriate time manner So call people back, listen to your voicemails, respond to texts, and do what you say. If you tell someone you're going to call them back in 2 minutes, you got 3, 4, 5 minutes as a window, but you need to call them back in that small window of time. So think about what you say before you say it. If you're not going to be available, do not tell someone you're calling back in 5 or 10 minutes. Tell them it's going to be a while, or I don't know when I can get back to you, but I will do my best to get back to you today. Because if not, that person will hijack your day and call you every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes. And you have a couple of those coming in, and your day cannot be fun, right? So do what you say you're going to do and set the right expectation of when you're going to call people back or when you're going to deliver X, Y, and Z. Because when you don't do that, that allows them to really call you, text you, email you, and just bombard you because you said X and you didn't do it. And with that, a lot of times you can get ahead of these issues by auto replying to stuff or just being proactive. So if you're a listing agent and you get an offer, just respond, received, we'll present to seller, we'll let you know as soon as we get an update, or planning to sit down with seller tomorrow, later today, whatever it is. If you get ahead of these things, it saves the extra call, and that extra call can, stop you from doing something to pick up a call, and it's just, did you get my offer? And yes, I did. Well, when are you going to respond? So if you get ahead of it, it helps. And it may sound like a simple task that, it's fine, it's what's wrong with that call. When you have a listing and you're getting 10 offers on it and you get 10 of those calls in a day, it derails and hijacks your day. Because you're on an important task, you see a number you don't know, you stop to pick it up, and it's just, did you get my offer? So it seems something small that may not be that important, but as you scale your business and you have multiple offers on a listing or have multiple listings, or the trifecta, right? You have multiple offers on multiple listings at the same time. Just think about how many calls you can get with this stuff. So when you see the offer, just make it a habit to respond, just to eliminate the calls, texts, and also allow you to get ahead of things. So you also have to learn to prioritize. As I mentioned before, everyone's emergency is not usually an emergency in real estate. There are some things that are critical. I do understand that and respect that. But most of the time, from my experience, it's not. It's just the world wants answers immediately, and we live in an immediate gratification mode where if you don't respond to a text in 3 minutes, you get the question marks, like what's going on, and people wait to see what happens after the dots, etc. But that doesn't mean you need to respond right when you get something. You need to prioritize, and you really need to look at, what do I need to do first? What do I need to accomplish first? So I'm going to sum it up in some best practices. And I think what you need to do is just work on consistency. If you're prospecting, if you're returning calls in the morning from the day before, if you're making sure all your emails from the day before are cleaned out, if you're making sure all your texts are done, whatever you're doing, just try to do it consistent. Get yourself on a schedule. And that schedule will help everyone else understand when you aren't available. Sets expectations, of course. I'm on a schedule. You almost will not get a reply to me at a certain time of the evening because it can almost always wait till the morning, right? There's no real estate emergencies, because all emergencies would require EMT, police, and fire that I am not, right? Those are real emergencies. So set expectations, be consistent, and that will help you get control of your day. And this is a part of the business that people sometimes neglect. And I call it the hustle phase, where you're 24/7 and you're hustling. But at some point, you want to just transition that into running a business. And that's how you can scale. So to get control, be consistent, set expectations, do what you're going to say, and you will have more control of your business. So that's all I have. Any comments, please, or questions, please type them in the comments box. If you did like this, if it was helpful, hit the like button, and I will see you guys next Tuesday on the next Think Tank. Happy selling, everyone. Take care.